What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a playthrough of the brand new Fortnite dungeon, which is the Cavendish and Suleiman Fortnite dungeon. Now, I don't really normally do Fortnite dungeon videos, but I wanted to actually bring you guys a video about this because not only are these units actually surprisingly pretty decent, this Fortnite actually has 2 times pirate EXP. So this is a great opportunity to go ahead and actually complete these Chopper Man missions and get a crap ton of pirate EXP for your account. Now, the really cool thing about this dungeon is that when you encounter the hidden boss, which is actually Duval for this Fortnite, funnily enough, he actually gives you a lot more EXP. And the amount of EXP you can get is just wild. So we're going to go through an EXP team that I've been using to farm this Fortnite dungeon with, and just stocking up on these characters until 2 times skill up is going to be active once again. Doing a quick overview of the Fortnite dungeon, obviously you've got the Suleiman and the Cavendish available here. As for skill books, you've got version 2 Jinbei and Legend Brook. So those are the skill books available for those legends. Both of those legends would definitely require, their skills maxed out. Specifically V2 Jinbei, because that amazing type boost for his team. Brook has a really powerful special as well. Myself personally, I only recently pulled Brook, which was awesome. I didn't realize that Brook's skill books were available in this Fortnite, so I actually used, almighty manuals to max it out. It is what it is, though. You've also got the skill book for Scarlet from Shiki's batch. His special ability's just okay. You've got Strength Smoothie from the Big Mom batch, who's very good. Perospero from the Big Mom batch is also extremely good, and he himself has double special activation as well. You've got Aladdin. Aladdin has a really unique special ability. Praline has a really powerful, unique utility-based special ability, removing 5 turns of threshold and other defensive effects on the enemy. Praline is phenomenal. And then you've got story mode Burgess as well. Story mode Burgess doesn't seem too good. One enemy's HP by 25%, ignoring defensive effects. So really not that great. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it with the team that I have been using. So this team, obviously, if I'm running an EXP team, going to be using a Jack friend captain. Unfortunately, I don't own Jack myself, but I am using this Summer Perona. Summer Perona is really good. She is essentially the same captain effect as the Strength Neptune. He essentially has the exact same captain effect, but the big thing here is that this character is a shooter character, which means that we can use a character such as Coliseum Kid on the team. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I will use 2 times stamina. Whenever I farm Fortnites, I always use 2 times stamina because, it's always good. You get more EXP from it, you get double the drops, you just hoard a whole bunch of stuff and then, use the ones that you really need to use along the way. So let's go ahead and break it down. Now, this team's actually pretty easy to build, aside from, the Perona might be a little bit difficult to use, so you'd have to use someone else as a captain, and then, going on from there, you wouldn't be able to use the Coliseum Kid, but I also have the Neptune on my team. Now, the main reason why I have Neptune on this team is because when you encounter the mini-boss Suleiman, he actually does a really annoying thing. He actually goes ahead and starts rewinding your character's special abilities. Now, the main reason why we have Hody here is because he has a Sailor ability that counters special rewind, so it rewinds his special forward even further. And then also we can use his special ability to then lower the cooldowns of our powerhouse characters, in turn being the rare recruit Elizabello, who allows us to deal lots of AoE damage towards the enemy. So Stage 4, as I said, we have Suleiman, who doesn't actually seem to have that much HP, so pretty easy to take down. As I said, he does the special rewind to your team and gives you a full board of bomb orbs, so we can go ahead and use Hody Jones here to not only do a little bit of damage to Suleiman, but it actually makes our Elizabello skip forward a bit. We can then use the Elizabello special ability, and because we've charged it up a little bit along the way here, we can see that it actually does a pretty substantial amount of damage, 215,000 damage towards Suleiman. Now, actually, weird thing I just noticed here as well, it's an 8-stage Fortnite dungeon. That's kind of weird. There are definitely 8, 9, 10 stage Fortnite dungeons, but typically the normal Fortnite dungeon is supposed to be 7 stages, and the fact that it is 8 stages is kind of annoying because it takes that little bit extra amount of time to clear each run, but not really too big of an issue. Now, the actual special abilities of Jack and Perona as our captains, it doesn't really matter about them. We're mainly utilizing the characters in Coliseum Kid, NL, and the other subunits. Like, these units are just so good for Fortnite. You know, you could just run, you know, double NL and get through it, but the main reason why I wanted to use an EXP team is because of the 2x Pirate EXP. Typically, if it's not like double EXP, I'll typically just use a treasure map NL team, but the fact that, you know, it is so easy, we can see we're on the final boss stage already. So we've got the fact that our captains do get their special bind as well, which are, you know, furthermore stating the fact that you don't need their specials. And we also get given attack down. Now, for people that have a lot of characters on their account, and when they are farming Fortnite using characters such as this, attack down doesn't really mean anything, because we're mainly utilizing our special abilities to break through here. So let's go ahead and use the treasure map NL special, which does a load of damage towards the enemy, 565,000 fixed damage towards all enemies. Now, of course, that doesn't KO Cavendish, but at that stage, we can go ahead and use the Coliseum Kid special, skip a turn, and let the Kid special KO Cavendish. So there we go. Pretty straightforward Fortnite dungeon, and you guys are going to see the amount of EXP that we get for actually completing it with the Jack friend captain. Now, if you have Jack yourself, the amount of EXP is going to be way higher, and of course, as I said, if you encounter the hidden boss in this dungeon, it's also going to be even higher. So we can see here, 112,000 EXP for a 30 stamina or 60 stamina worth of runs, which is pretty good. Obviously getting those Chop Man missions done here. I'm actually going to go ahead and sell the books that I don't need, because I have obviously used Almighty Manuals or used copies to max them out already. But the great thing about the stackable abilities that we have now in our accounts is that we can go ahead and stack the turtles, stack the evolvers that we have, which is really strong. Actually, something that I would suggest to you guys as well, that I'll talk about in a second, is to actually go ahead and start saving your pigs. Now, the reason for that is we can go ahead and sort by favorites. If I go to my strength area, now the reason why I say start saving your pigs is because you can use them to feed cotton candy to. Obviously, with the ability now, with the stackable evolvers and stuff and boosters, we can't feed cotton candy to these characters. So I would start suggesting to you guys, you know, start saving your pigs so you can feed cotton candy to them, as I am doing here. Unless if you want to, you know, do friend point pulls and then use the characters you pull from friend points for cotton candy holders, that is also a pretty good option as well. But to actually go to the get date and to scroll all the way down the bottom, we want to go ahead and start talking about the Cavendish and the Suleiman, where I have evolved my Cavendish. There he is. So let's go ahead over Suleiman. So with Suleiman, his captain ability, pretty stock standard, double attack for slashes, and that's not the reason you're going to be using him. His special ability deals 15 times his attack and int damage to all enemies, so not too bad on treasure map specifically, because obviously both of these characters are going to be boosted for the next treasure map. So you can use that on a treasure map for sure and deal some, not amazing amounts of damage, but a little bit. And it says, if your captain is a slasher, changes slasher characters' recovery, tandem, block, empty, and bomb orbs into their own type, and halves the enemy's defense for 1 turn. Like, for a Fortnite unit, this character is pretty good. The fact that you get very, very good orb manipulation, you get also halving the enemy's defense, which in turn you can use defense down conditional boosts with. However, you got to remember, in order to get those abilities, it looks like you need to have your captain be a slasher type. But for a character that gives you a conditional boost that would work well with this guy would be the Dex Cavendish from the Rare Recruit batch with Lucy, like from way back. He is a conditional booster against defense down, but you need to have defense down set. He is not a self-proccing conditional booster, so this is a character that could work well with that. But I think that for a free-to-play character that provides that much orb manipulation, I think that this character is well worth the farm. Now, you can actually see he actually has a support ability as well, which supports only Cavendish and adds 3% of his base attack to that unit. So this is at max level here, so he had 3% of 1150 for his attack value, which isn't amazing, but it is what it is. And now moving on to Cavendish. Now, Cavendish is a Psi Slasher driven character. Captain ability, doubling Slasher character's attack and boosts his own attack by 2.75. So that's very reminiscent of pretty much every other Cavendish character in the game, mainly focusing on himself, giving himself a better buff. Not a very good captain ability though. His special ability deals 15 times attack inside damage to a single enemy and changes character's own slot to Psi, so he gives himself a matching orb and boosts Slasher character's attack and slot effects for 1 turn. Now, I just quickly looked that up. It is confirmed that is a 1.5 times attack and orb boost. This is a very good free-to-play character. Like, this is what I'm saying. If you guys want to be running slasher teams, but you don't have a lot of good slasher characters, especially if you're a newer player, this character is great. So I would suggest definitely maxing him out. He's going to help you out a lot in team building, just providing an attack and orb boost on himself. And then you have a character, as I said, with Suleiman, who allows you to get really good orb manipulation and halving defense. These two characters alone are a very good foundation for people who don't have many characters on their accounts for a slasher based team, which is really, really cool. But before we end the video, we actually didn't talk about his support ability, which supports Suleiman and also Bartolomeo, where he adds 3% of his base stats to that character. So that includes his HP, recovery, and attack. So that's actually not too bad, you know, for certain characters, but overall, not an amazing support ability. You know, they're only Fortnite units. They're not going to be totally busted, but I think for full Fortnite units, these characters are really good. So I wanted to bring that to you guys' attention just because of how good these characters are. And as I said, with double pirate EXP, with, you know, Jack friend captain, you can do some pretty good stuff here, get a lot of EXP, rank up very, very quickly. So I'd suggest doing that, especially before the next treasure map, because both of these characters, as I said, are boosted for the next treasure map. So make sure to go ahead and get your hands on these characters. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, breaking down the new Fortnite and talking about how good these characters are. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.